Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, a Real Madrid podcast with me, Jarod Hector. I am joined by Sid Ramsundar. Sid, what's up?
Pleasantly surprised. I was normally if we're not favorites in this game, Gerard, I'm super nervous. I expect
Right.
something to go wrong. I expect like to if we lose the last couple of years, it's been sad, but I feel like we got something from this. I'm not as sad, and I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud of the boys in defeat.
Are you at cope stage? And is that what's happening right now? That we see matches where you're like, damn, maybe we should have gotten blown out like 5-0 and we didn't. So 3-2, we had chances to take it to penalties. Hey.
Honestly, I see a game that if some things didn't fall the wrong way, we win, and I'm proud for that reason. I really think, considering we couldn't pass and we still were there, like wow. I don't know what sort of sorcery was going on, but we were there for a lot of it.
We'll get into the bigger picture and all that and stuff that Sid's been saying. What we've been saying on this pod, what Sid's been saying. There's a lot to get into. But thank you guys all for being here, joining us on the stream. Please like this video. It helps us. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. It'll also be on Apple and Spotify later if you want to listen back to the audio. Real Madrid 3-2 loss in the Supercopa final to Barcelona in the latest edition of El Clasico. Let's start with the lineup, Sid. So basically, we ran it with the exception of Housen because Rudiger's hurt. We ran it back with the same people except for Housen and Rudiger's spot.
With the different shape though, right? With
Yes.
So Asensio's going to right back.
Mhm.
Chouameni to handle Lewandowski is put
Yes,
center back.
dropped in the center back.
And Fede's moving up to the right midfield role. And what did you think there? I thought Lacante pointed out well. I thought Fede was. It's funny because when he was on the pitch, I thought he had a middling game. It was great. And
but then as soon as he got taken up, he left. You were like, wait, what the?
Right. But just for starters, I think looking at that lineup, like we were obviously going to have to press him higher. But the big worry is, can Asensio handle his fullback duties decently, and then can Chouameni handle Lewandowski? And I think it's interesting that another thing, when we're not favorites, we don't play well, but those things didn't go well, and we were still there, Jarod, which is what I find so interesting about this game.
I would say so. It was obvious that with the shape and with the lineup, the goal was to sit back in a mid to low block and counter. Right, that was Xavi's game plan because as you see, we did not press high at all initially, right, and that was before the cooling break. I would say up until the cooling break. Once the cooling break, after the cooling break, things shifted a little. But I will say that up until the cooling break, Xavi's game plan was pretty clear, and we're doing pretty well with that.
Well, I feel like the plan was to kind of press strategically and win the second ball. Like Gonzalo was really on their pivot a lot. He was marking their holding midfielder really tight. And I feel like the goal was to kind of let Barcelona play fast and take advantage of turnovers in that context, like set a trap for them. And
except in that first, before the cooling break, though, said they were not playing fast. Like
they weren't. Well, so that's the thing. I feel like we saw a very cautious and scared Barcelona. Like Flick, I feel like, and when the ball came back to him with Vinny each time, I thought he got progressively more scared. He's like, slow it down. They don't really play this risk-free. Barcelona played a very risk-free game, almost in fear of us in transition.
But it didn't really work because Vinny kind of murdered them in transition, right? He was a big protagonist today. Now, we'll get into chronologically sort of, yes, he had the brilliant Galazza goal and the individual effort, just outstanding. A goal he needed, a goal we needed desperately on the second half, though, which we'll get to that later. But so, yeah, I would say up until the cooling break, Sid, we were looking pretty good. We had them playing slow and out wide, right? And one of the things that I've talked about Lacante all the time is that you can have possession all you want if you don't have it in dangerous areas, right? And up until the cooling break, they did not really have it in dangerous areas, right? Like we kept them out wide, right? And we were staying behind the ball. Now, once the cooling break hit, things changed a little bit.
Well, up till the cooling break, I think Vinny. Well, it's interesting because like before the goal, he's like making the right runs, but he's still quite wasteful, like extremely wasteful, honestly, with a couple of the chances. And Gonzalo Garcia and Rodrigo were not supporting him too much. And I think there was a moment where Garcia even got open before the cooling break. And that, I think, marked the end of like near goal. He was 1-on-1. And I think that kind of...
Yes, that was the one to his right. Where, like, he probably should have let it run across him a little bit. He didn't get any power on it. I think it was that shot.
Yeah. So we get... the game plan works really well. And then yeah, the cooling break hits, the ball pressure just drops off, and they get their goal. Like first, like it's a lot of giveaways. It's like the goal was just a giveaway in possession. I feel like what happened was,
Yes.
well, yeah, we're just not doing much on the ball. I want to be clear, like some of our better sequences are good with Vinny getting in behind,
Mm-hmm.
but in general, like there was a lack of overall protagonism on the ball, I would say, between Jude
Yes.
Bellingham, Camavinga. We were struggling to maintain time on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember that goal, it was just a clean giveaway from our midfield straight to
Yes.
Rafinha.
Yeah. The midfield was bad today in terms of giving the ball away. And part of the problem was, I think, dropping Tchouaméni into center back because it took him away from, like, it's a weird way in which his instincts now, those first 14 games of the season where he was playing like the best DM in the world, great in the pivot, right? And helping us in our buildup, still not where we'd want him to be, but better than what he's been showing lately. It's like all of a sudden he's regressed back again when it comes to, like, because it's almost like he's neutered, right? Like, oh crap, if I got to stay back here. So if Jude makes a back pass to him or to Camavinga, they're retreating as opposed to let me be an outlet for Jude so I can then take the ball and help in our buildup. And that I thought was a real problem for us post the cooling break. And we could not string together, I don't know, more than 3 passes, 4, like not even 2. Like it was just bad.
No, it was. And I will say at this moment, I think we are capable of playing a good 30 minutes defensively, even with our flaws.
Can't play
But
natty.
nah, but at that point, they're up 1-0. We can't construct moves with midfield. And like that, maybe our good stretch is gone. We're down. And I will say, Jarod, what transpired over the next half hour, both the end of the first half and the start of the second half, was impressive, extremely impressive from our guys. Like we were down 1-0. I thought it was over. And the fact that we kept the way we fought from there, and even in the 90th minute, like all the way till the very end, just point blank missing chances, hitting it straight at Joanne. I thought the fight from there, because at that moment, 1-0 down, Rafinha scores. We've seen this so many times. It's usually over. It's
Avalanche
over.
comes.
Yep. And I think they got another chance even, and I was
They
just
did.
starting to get apathetic. Yeah, they did. I was starting to wonder what it is. Then how do you explain Vinny? I think there are two things. One, like that was just ridiculous out of nowhere.
Incredible.
But how do you explain the guy's struggling to create separation, and then suddenly like from that goal, that moment on, like amazing dribble if you haven't watched it, like through the team. From there, like one of the touches he takes was one of those like magic Vinny like space-time touches that like used to exist. And from there, he's like a second ball magnet the whole game. He's tracking back harder. He plays way better the rest of the game. And but that first goal I thought was awesome. And it was kind of like, 2 years ago in the Spanish Super Cup, like he really scored and it took him to a new level for the rest of the season. I feel like he could have got his spark back. What do you think?
Listen, I hope he did. I'm going to get to his goal in a minute. I will say that the Rafinha goal, remember, he had a chance just before that was actually easier that he messed up, right? So we were starting to leak a little bit and give up some chances. Okay, it's 1-0. We get the ball, we get a turnover, we get the ball to Vinny, and he just does, again, this feat of brilliance, that magic touch you mentioned, and then his pace. And when I saw Sid, if it was Kubarse or Kunde, it didn't matter. He knew I can beat these guys today in a foot race. Whatever it was today, he had his super juice. I don't know. But today, he was like, anytime I'm back with either one of these people, I'm going to cook them in a race. And he did, right? He cuts back inside, nutmegs, right, and gets beautiful shot across Garcia to go 1-1. And you can see this weight lifted off him in that moment and off the team. And even though right after that, Lewandowski scored because of a mistake by Tchouaméni. By the way, the space between Tchouaméni and Housen on that, or was it Tchouaméni and Sensi? I don't even remember.
It was horrible, man. Horrible. Tchouaméni,
I mean,
just got
Sid, you could park a freaking 3 Mack trucks through the space between them. I was like, what is happening right now? Why are you guys so far apart? So Lewandowski just gets right between them, and it goes up 2-1. And then Madrid, to your point, keeps. This is the thing we talk about this team, right? They go down 1-0 or 2-1. We often see them give up, right? And that's it. Like this is a thing that happened last year. And we're like, all right, it's over. They fought back again. That beautiful ball in by Rodrigo. Rodrigo, by the way, moving up the ladder in terms of who should be our set piece taker, right? Like he's delivering some great balls into the box lately. He has found his groove again, by the way, as a player. And then just fighting and getting the ball into the box. And Gonzalo, while being dragged down by, I want to say Fermin maybe, or Pedri, one of them was dragging to the ground, and the wherewithal to ball defeat, get it in 2-2. We go in the halftime.
Yeah, yeah, it was ridiculous. Like we fought back twice in the span of 5 minutes at the end of the half. Rodrigo for sure going up the depth chart. And so I guess like at halftime, I'm just shocked, kind of just soaking it in. And I think the XG was 1.5 to them to 0.8 to us. And
Sounds
so
about right. Yep.
so at that point on the aggregate, you could say we're still not like deserving to be ahead or anything. Just because the way we play inherently means giving up territory, not constructing moves.
Yep.
But well, I feel like at halftime it was a pretty straightforward answer to what we need to do, and I don't even think it happened. I thought we reshuffled, like move Asensio to center back, maybe move Fede back to right back, move Tchouaméni into midfield. As far as I remember, I believe we just kept it the same until something had to change. We kept everything the same. And one more thing, thought there was a lot of space on the right hand side for Rodrigo in the or just for our guys. Like sometimes you saw Camavinga going there, Tchouaméni, but Rodrigo was playing on the left, and I expected Alonso to move him to the right. I expected all these positional reshuffles and a different second half, but instead it feels like he just came and got them all to play tighter. Like they were just tied to their man, just more compact, not as much space to Lewandowski. Tchouaméni played the same role better. And the start of the second half, Jarod, up till minute 70 when they scored, up till
we had a chance. We had a chance.
Yeah, like basically, if I'm trying to box in a team like Barcelona, that's what I want the game to look like. Lots of like headed balls in the middle of the park, scrappy fighting, ball not going anywhere. And I will say this, I feel like we got screwed by the referees because they just kept tactically fouling. Like they constantly tactically fouled us throughout the second half, and especially those 20 minutes. They were getting nothing. We were getting everything. We were missing chances. Rodrigo missed a chance. Vinny
missed a chance.
Yeah, and I think and hey, as soon as Fede even made an incredible run past Vinny, and Vinny couldn't find him.
So that was the play, Sid, where I was like, you were playing so well today. It was all you had to do. It's Fede. Like it's not even Carreras, who we've decided you hate to pass the ball to. It's freaking Fede. You get that ball up there, Fede's alone on goal, right? Like I just like, and this is the maddening part, right? It's the gift and the curse. You get the give, the good, right? The goal, he was a protagonist. He was getting shots, breaking away one-on-one, all that good stuff. But then he makes these plays where it's like, dude, I just need you to be, and it's awareness, Sid. It's just being aware. How are you not aware that Fede Valverde has just made a beautiful run? Like, I know you're on form, but when you're in flow state, just you got to be able to read the, oh my God, it's Fede. Sid, Fede would have been alone on goal by himself.
Yeah, no, it would have been awesome. And I will say at that point I was upset, but I'm like, listen, if this game keeps going this way, we're going to get more of these. So I was like, it is what it is.
And we did get too late, which we didn't.
Well, and so at that point, and someone's asking, we got rid of the right wing entirely. I don't understand why. Well, I will say this, with Vinny and Rodrigo together on the left, the other team was actually kind of scared. Barcelona were scared of doubling up too much on one or the other, or they were just constantly in their head. And so one was always open, like when they were playing together. And honestly, Rodrigo, like there were moves where Vinny was dribbling through the guys and Rodrigo was wide open. They could have combined more. They didn't. That was something people pointed out. But ultimately, I thought the gravity they had together was working on the left. And there was even a sequence where Rodrigo dropped and played like the through ball to Vinny, like the Carlo days. And I thought that dynamic was too effective to change. And I think ultimately, right wing or not, the thing that changed the game was Fede getting injured. I think possibly on that sprint itself, like maybe pulling something and asking to come off. And I know I hate to do this and, people are going to get mad, but I thought it was just me. I look around, I read other people. I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me. The second Arda Güler came into the game for Fede Valverde, we pretty much got chances near the end when we were desperate, but that killed our momentum from minute 70 to 90. And we lost our defensive ability.
Listen, I think Arda's an incredibly talented footballer, but how much more tape does Xabi need to see that this dude, like Sid, like he is weak physically, right? Like he's not fast, right? Like he can't, like when he is, like, you see, it's like when he has the ball, the opponent just creeps closer, and he just keeps retreating. He can't turn out of it and like nothing. Nothing. And if you're going to take off Fede, and Fede's injured, so we had, I mean, we've limited options about who we can put on there, right? Like, Arda just doesn't fill those needs, right? And for a club that wants to do what it needs to do, he is not a midfielder that can play the kind of minutes we need to play, particularly against big opposition. Like, right? Like, if we're playing against top teams, he will not work. So obviously, no Barca, no Atleti, and none of the top teams across the European 5 leagues. Like, it's very obvious. So that's an issue that'll have to get addressed. The player, the person in the chat mentioned giving up on the right wing. I think with Masentuano coming in there late, right? Like, I think that's another sign that Xabi is just not confident in certain players, right? I mean, at this point of the season, now we're mid-January. Yes, we've had injuries, and it's obvious, but look at who has been playing and look at who he went to in the substitutes, right? Like, now, Brahim was not here because he's at AFCON. Maybe you think he goes to Brahim in that instance?
Well, he didn't have options, I feel like. But I think the main thing is, like, could he have done something different for Fede, and would that have made a difference? Is the like, I think Ceballos was on one option, like,
Right.
because he could have maybe passed it around in a way Goulet couldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Franco, I actually kind of like that, but the problem was, yeah, I kind of like the Franco idea because you need someone tenacious who moves up and down. I do blame Xabi for this sub. I don't think Xabi should get sacked for that.
No.
But I think Xabi sees too much of himself in Goulet, like literally himself as a player. Like,
really?
Yeah, I think I've told you, Alonso was not like some three. He wasn't some, like, honestly, he would look like, honestly, in settled possession, he was overrated, like very overrated. Like, he was a guy who could see like long passes vertical and play them through. You see it in the way he wants them to play, like vertical, central, quick passing. And he was a good defender who could understand the game and defend. Arda's like that without the defending, and
that's
like,
a problem.
yeah, and I think he's like, okay, like when I was a player, I remember like I would get robbed in these games, but Mourinho found a use for me. I can't like not use Goulet. I just feel like that might be it, because you go through those games, Alonso would get pressed the shit out of against Barcelona, and he couldn't do anything. He was no Modric, he was no Cruz. He couldn't figure it out. He wasn't watching film and learning to become press resistant like we want from our players, but it wasn't happening for him. And I think in Arda he sees more of the same. Like, and I get it, but listen, it's just once Arda came on, then it feels like you had to bring on Kylian because our offense died.
Yep. And Kylian, I mean, was essentially non-existent, right? Except for the end where he wins the free kick or gets the red card on De Jong, right? I mean, in those 20 minutes or so.
He got lively towards the last 5 with that. And I thought like Barcelona did a good job slowing the game down, wasting time after this.
Well, and this is the point, Sid. You see Madrid's clear and obvious weaknesses at this point in the game. I think we both agree Barcelona is not a great team, right? We can agree upon that. But here's what they can do. When they have a lead and they know the other team is desperate to try to, they can just hold the ball and I mean, I'd say it again. We could not string more than 3 passes in a row together. Like, this is grade school stuff. Like, that's a problem. If you can't pass the ball, because if your only option is go long to Vinny or one of your wingers and cook your man one-on-one, okay. But now Vinny's out of the game. He's subbed out, right? So who's that person now?
And that's where that's where, like, people are going to blame everyone top to bottom. I thought Alonso acquitted himself well. Vinny acquitted himself well. Heck, like Mbappe in like his 15 minutes injured, like acquitted himself well. But Florentino not getting us an Isco or a Kovacic, that's all on him. Like, and people were pointing it out throughout the game. And that's why I find this game so fascinating. You can see it the whole game, yet at 2-2, we were in a moment where we could do something. That is coaching. That is quality and coaching winning out because we are good. But yeah, then you see the rest of the game and you see all the things big teams can do routinely. And it's like we're playing with our hands tied behind our back. It's ridiculous.
Literally. And so what does that do now? Because Jude and Camavinga have to do so much defensive work in the middle of the field, right? That leaves them not able to help out so much up front, right? But okay, Vinny's doing his thing and he's cooking his guy one-on-one. But again, he comes off, and I don't know how you felt about the Vinny sub. I mean, it's probably right because Xavi figured we'd have to press some more, and Vinny was getting a little bit tired. But I don't,
That's where I think Xavi tied his hands with Goulet, honestly, in that regard, because like in terms of the Vinny sub, at that point, yeah, like just strictly speaking, with the personnel and their physical levels, like you don't have too many options. You probably have to take him off. And there was a sequence when Mbappe and Goulet and Vinny were on the pitch together, and Yamal was attacking our Carreras, and Vinny
Hmm.
tracked all the way
Hmm.
back
Hmm.
and robbed him of the ball. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, dude, this is because Mbappe is not running anymore, and you see Goulet not running, and you want to win. I want to commend Vinny. This
Yeah,
was one of
he
his
played well
best
today.
games.
He played
Vinicius
well
was
today.
phenomenal.
Hmm.
I know he was wasteful, and I still have suspicions that he's been sabotaged, frankly, from our whole medical department.
Medically, no doubt. Hmm.
Just from watching him. This guy cares. Like I don't.
Hmm.
Aside from all the leverage and posturing, this guy gives a fuck. I know, like he gives a fuck, and
Oh, it's obvious.
yeah, and like you saw how many times he still goes one on one. He keeps trying. He never stops, even when his burst is gone. Well, his burst should never have been gone if the doctors were doing their job. But yeah, that I thought was a complex situation, and it comes back to this Goulet situation, man. It's tricky, and I just want to say, one guy's saying if Arda isn't playing as 10, then don't play him in such matches, especially if Mbappe's on. I don't know how to say this. Tens do not exist anymore at the highest level. It's like saying play the pass first point guard who can't shoot, Jarod. Only in situations that make sense. Don't play him at shooting guard. That's what they're saying. Play the old school center who can't shoot anymore. Only in garbage time. That's what they're saying. Okay, then what do you want from this guy if that's what you see of him? But like, it's ridiculous, Jarod. Like, if you're gonna play 10 and you can't help the team control the ball and you're not a good defender, then you are never gonna get that concession over Mbappe. You're not scoring 50 goals. And you can't do this thing where two guys who don't defend play together to get the most out of one. That's not going to work.
Yeah. And with all that being said, right, we still had chances at the end. That ball in from Rodrigo that Tchouaméni lets go by him to Carreras. I don't know if he knew it was Carreras behind him or not, but even if it Carreras or whoever left back, I know some people are like, oh, but it's a left back. Look, man, you get the ball in that spot, my guy. Why are you playing catch with the or pass it back and forth with the goalie? Just crush that shit, and that's in, and we tie the match, right? Then we get the ball in on Asensio's head and heads it right to Joan Garcia. I think you're muted, Sid.
Yeah, people are saying my only problem was Vinny shooting directly at the keeper. Well, Rodrigo did that once. Carreras did that once. Like that, our whole team did that, man.
Did
like,
a lot, yeah.
That was a.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's been hard to bench Mbappe this season because you can't. Like having good stretches where you really don't capitalize sucks your soul out as a team, man. Like you don't have endless energy. We're not robots. We're humans. Like you try infinitely hard till you get a goal. Then you need a break. But like this infinite open ended of keep trying at 100%, keep generating the same chance only to watch it to like be shot straight at the goalie. That's not ideal. And yeah, I mean it is what it is. I think ultimately like chance generation is important and I'm going to choose to be happy that Carreras got that shot and that Asensio took that header.
Yeah, I mean, look, Carreras is a guy. Remember, right before we started playing bad, he was the one who had that amazing golazo that he scored for us, right, flying on the left flank. So we know he can crush the ball. He just, for whatever reason, in that moment. And I will say this: physically tired players make mental errors, right? Like these dudes were gassed, and you could just see it, right? It's like, ooh, you need like, it's just the brain is just a half a millimeter just slow, right? And this is what matters, right? Like little margins. It could get to 3-3. Then if it goes to pens, we're in a good spot because they took off Lewandowski, they took off Yamal, they took off, right? Like maybe it's different then. Who knows what happens? But look, it is what it is. We didn't get blown out. We played well, I thought, despite our clear and obvious flaws and issues with this team. This is a very good question, Sid. What is the excuse for having such low physical levels? Because this isn't unique. We aren't the only club that has a very packed calendar schedule. And there's something with this team where it looks like they have heavy legs all the time, Sid, all the time.
Well, I think firstly, we would never apply ball pressure for the last 5 years consistently anyways, but because we had the ball so much, it was fine. I think the whole equation of, as I keep saying, like the equation of we never keep the ball for 30 pass sequences, so you're now defending literally twice as long as you ever used to, twice as hard with more stress. And just knowing you're not getting that next sip of water from Tony Cruz, you know you're gonna have to keep running around. And I think I think that this squad is not designed to like it has a lot of great players, but like Vinny, Mbappe, and Arda are not guys who want to consistently win by winning second balls. You want to kind of play with the ball. And I think that's where the subs really showed. Like even the starting lineup, despite those periods where they're in the mud, they fought. Like I thought Gonzalo fought. They fought, and like even Barcelona, I mean, I guess Barcelona didn't have stretches where they were boxed as much, but I think they fought. And what it is the totality of the profiles. Like, you can't have Guler and Mbappe. Like I said, you can't have a 10 who doesn't want to defend. And then also the tendency of these guys to want to win with the ball means you're
Yep,
gonna
you're good.
have
Hold on one second. Keep going.
yeah. Let me just get to one more comment. Someone said we need Elliot Anderson and Vitinha or Enzo Fernandez. Full stop. I agree. We definitely need an Elliot Anderson and Vitinha or Enzo Fernandez. Like, so many guys who would help us in that midfield would have been ideal. But yeah, I just think that's what it is. You get those guys, you get oxygen. Because if you remember when we were coming back, Jarod, like
Mm-hmm.
it looked like our defensive shape and tactics were dependent on whether we were down or not 2 years ago. So when we were down in games, we would suddenly win every second ball. The playmakers would pass to the attackers and win. And I think that confidence, that knowledge of like once we win it, our physical efforts will get rewarded is not there
Mm-hmm.
right now. It's just
Yeah.
totally demoralized.
No, it's very true. And so, this leads into now the question. Well, let's start. Let me ask you this question. Given how we played, what do you think the future of Xabi Alonso is the rest of this season?
That's a good question. Oh yeah, Chabi said in the presser, Vinny has to be subbed. I just want to put that out
Okay,
there.
cool. Good to know.
That's great. Yeah, because like honestly, I don't think he would have been subbed otherwise. And Fede did too, by the way. So he did what he had to. Just shouldn't have brought up.
Guys were hurt. I mean, what are you going to do?
I will say this: the fact that I think what the club wanted to see was not excuses about the personnel, but do your best with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
That was today. That was because
The best we could do.
The Atletico loss or the earlier part of the season, we lost by trying to play too slow and just thought the other team would submit to us. We don't have that complacency now. We know the other team's coming. We defended pretty paranoid today, and honestly, I think at some point, I think we created way more big chances than them. So if we can do that in a big game with these personnel, that's a coach you invest in. Like, that game plan was honestly pretty solid. Like the first
Yes.
20 minutes of the second half, Jarod, where are you
Yeah.
getting that from? Like, who else? Like, that was solid stuff.
No, listen. I thought the game plan was good. Like, I really do, and I thought the players executed it as well as they could, given their limitations, and not just their limitations physically, but their limitations from a technical ability standpoint. Right? Like, they did as well as they could do. All right, and I'm with you. I'm in agreement with that. I think Xabi Alonso has proven that I can make do with what I have. I would like some different things, but look, this is what we can do. Sanita's letting players eat donuts for breakfast has to be in there. I mean, look, we talked about this, right? This kind of like everything matters at this club. And I think the Florentino and the roster construction era side of it, this needs to be heavily, heavily criticized. We need to stop doing the thing, Sid, where it's like, ooh, hot, young 16-year-old, doesn't matter what position they play, we're signing them. And it's like, okay, so we have and they're usually forwards at that age, right? Great. Another attacking player when that's not what we need, right? But because you want to market value and because you've got great relationships in South America and whatever, and you think marketing and this guy can be the next whatever, it doesn't help us in the immediate term, right? We have, again, to your point, we could not string more than 3 passes in a row together. Like, we need people who can help us do that. How about you find that person? Which, by the way, would cost you a hell of a lot less, like, on aggregate.
Yeah, totally. No, we need those pieces. There's that rumor about Vitinha going around. I don't know if we'll get him. Rodri
No way
also,
PSG is letting him go. No possible way. And yeah, whatever.
If Rodri's back, the rumors going around there too. Just kind of sneaking around, but I don't care about who. I just want more. Like, you could get me a Rodri, just get me like a Vitinha and someone else as well. Elliot Anderson, get me 3. Like, just get me 3 or 4. He when Florentino finds a problem and realizes he has to solve it, he throws money at it, in my opinion. And like 2016, 2015, we ended that season under Carlo, not enough squad depth. He goes, signs Lucas Vasquez, Kovacic, Danilo, just stacks them up. And we have like one of our best squads ever 2 years later. So that's what I want to see. I want to see like an indulgent Real Madrid-esque recruitment solution to this. Like, just go sign, like, I want people to be disgusted by how many controlling midfielders we have this summer.
Stiller, Alex Garcia, whomever it is, just go and do the thing and get them. All right. Here's another thing I want to talk about, Sid.
I want to throw up, Jarod. I want to throw up with the number of controllers we have. That's how much.
obviously we need to sign defenders as well. We need more center backs. We need more wing backs. I don't want to kill him because he's coming off injury and he hasn't had much match sharpness. But even before the injury, Dean Howson's level outside of the first Club World Cup and up until the Athletic game, after the Athletic game, once the Athletic game hit and thereafter he's been bad. Is this a situation you think of people got too hyped on him too early and he started reading his own press clippings and thinking, yeah, I am the shit? Versus the reality of, my guy, you are 20 and not that good yet. Like, you're just not. You got a whole lot more development to do.
Well, firstly, I think he maybe got a little unlucky with the red cards, but also is a little slow. And
he's a lot slow. He's very slow.
He is slow, so he gets broken up in terms of minutes. And then when he comes back into the lineup, I think the team's buildup is worse, and they're leading on him a lot. And then he starts getting erratic. He does tend to make risky passes. I think he realizes that the team needs him in buildup and tends to overdo things. Whereas at first it was like, they need me, we're good. But at some point, I think teams keyed it on Arda, and all those small things happening meant he became more of a protagonist. And lastly, I think like the injuries are a factor. Like, I think he needs to be, I don't know how much the injuries are down to him, but I will say, like, he seems a little complacent sometimes, in the sense that like his dad posted a pic of him wearing like these UV light blocking things, and like he was shirtless and like smiling and happy when he was injured. And I'm just like, dude, like we're literally going through a crisis right now. What are you doing? And I saw that and I was just a little taken aback. I'm just like, bro, this is just such the most tone deaf Gen Z shit ever. Like, come on.
He is his chill guy persona, right? I'm like, you're a little too chill, my guy. Like, I need you to be a little bit more. Look, I think it's fair to say that you have to pair him with having him be the main guy next to an also similarly experienced defender is not good, right? Like, you pair him next to a Van Dijk, right? Things are better, right? You pair him next to a Militao, things are better because he has someone who can help him with pace. Like, he has someone also to teach him, right? Like, because he's 20, he's got to learn. Like, he has a lot of things he has to learn. I talked about this, Sid. You know if you're fast or not, right? Like, you know. So if that is the case, you adjust for that, right? And that's things that you learn as you play, right? He's never going to all of a sudden get super fast. That's just not going to happen, right? But there are lots of not super fast center backs who are good, right? You figure out how to work around that. And he hasn't figured that out yet. And again, he's 20. It'll take time. But again, to your point, when you rely on him so much at this age, these are the problems we have with Militao being hurt and all that. It's just we need to do some different things there on that back line.
A rare Alaba was spotted.
Because he had nowhere else to go. Like, who else is going to play? Rudiger's hurt. Militao's hurt.
You probably don't want Fran or Mendy on the pitch.
Mendy's also hurt. Mendy's hurt.
Oh, forgot.
Mendy's got hurt at the Atletico game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he gets hurt when he comes back for like months every time now, huh? But
Mendy has not played 5 consecutive matches in Lord knows how long.
Yeah, no, that renewal is still biting us. And he someone pointed out Steenhuisen 6'6" took advantage on the Gonzalo goal. Yes, I think the set pieces I am somewhat impressed by, like our work. Just as the season's progressed offensively, like with Trent out, the Rodrigo work we've seen. And I think this game also shows that the equation of this team shifts a lot towards applying ball pressure, because Gonzalo's touch was bad sometimes, it didn't matter. He was a big plus in his minutes, huge plus. And and just the way he marked their pivot, I haven't seen like Kylian ever defend that way ever.
Yeah, no, Kylian doesn't do that, right? I mean, that's just not what he does. But you accept that because he scores 60 goals in a season, right? So you're like, all right, it's a trade-off.
Also, I forgot to say, we only went alive once De Jong got sent off, but that does bring me to, they could definitely have been shown yellows throughout the game. And I feel like that was like a late consolation red. And then we came alive. But I'll just. But
even then, even up a man, Barcelona was still controlling the ball better than we were. I was like,
they were about two point blank shots though.
Yeah, and we should have scored one of those.
Yeah. So like that, at the end of the day, even if they controlled it, they fucked up and they gave those up, and like we just fucked up.
We couldn't score.
Yeah, Carreras, he can bang it in. It felt like a pass. That was a pass, not a shot.
I was like, bro, what are you doing? He, by the way, I thought Carreras, that aside, I thought he played well today.
Incredible.
Like he's so good on the ball, Sid. Like, and Talk about he is also press resistant. When Barca was pressing him, he's able to turn, spin, get. Look, we talked about this before. We have one right now who is actually available to play. We have 3 players on this squad who are press resistant, right? In Carreras, Jude, and Camavinga, right? Like that's it. Like nobody else can handle pressure when they get it. They just can't do it.
I want to address this because there's a stereotype going around on Spanish Twitter that Jude gets drunk before games, that he's a retarded
That's
Englishman.
not true. Like that's not true.
I think everything we've learned about him, firstly, just his personality, the way he presents himself.
Right. None of that is right.
Well, if there's a guy who doesn't fly out to Ibiza midweek and drink, it's him. I know it's him.
Right.
There's the guy who's not doing it, but and a few others, to be honest. I don't want to disrespect our team, but
Right.
with that being said, I will say that him and Camavinga, just the combo of different positions and not consistently playing midfield, like people are really going in on Jude. And yes, he needed to be better. Yes, he was not as good as, let's say, Spanish Jude at the end of the year, like the last couple games before Atletico. And I just think that he's learning, and it's not his perfect role. And this is the game where playing that role is really hard for someone who doesn't come as second nature to. Like, I know he wasn't perfect. And I think, if anything, Camavinga at this point has played more in the base to be able to do more in those games. But man, it's hard. He hasn't controlled these games without Cruz before. Like, this shit's not easy.
And he's another player, Camavinga, who doesn't have a long track record and run of just playing consistent matches. When he gets hurt, he's also hurt for months at a time.
Yeah, and that's why I think, honestly, I just think more would do everything. Like, give me 3 Camavingas, we'll be fine. Give me 3 Judes. Give me an Elliott. I do really think volume solves a lot of our problems. Like, does Nico Paz solve it? No. Would Nico Paz coming on for for Fede have been a much better sub for us? Yes. We would have been so much better off with him instead of Goulart. Goulart is starting to piss me off in terms of how lightweight he is, man. Like, dude, the guy just walks around and, like, he's like scared to go into challenges the way he plays. He's like, it's like he can't get his feet dirty sometimes the way he plays. And the second he came on, it was just shocking. Like, suddenly they're near our box. Like, I was just getting a tweet composed about how, like, we've, like, successfully boxed them in, and then I'm just like, wait, like, what's going on here? They're suddenly in our half, and I had to change it. But yeah, I do think literally volume and replacing some of the tweeners solves our problems.
Yeah, I look, you could not have said it better, Sid. This squad is very thin, and it has players on it who are eating up roster spots who are not serving any purpose. A la Mendy, a la Alaba, right? A la, like, it's just Ceballos to a certain extent, right? Like, players who you can't play extensive minutes. Here's the thing. If you are Real Madrid, Sid, this is how I see it. It's not about having the first, second, third, and fourth best player in the world at depth at every position. That's not possible. However, if you are on this roster and I cannot play you 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes in the biggest matches against top competition, then why are you on this roster? Then you cannot be here, because this is not a team that's trying to move up from relegation or qualify for. This is Real Madrid. We're trying to win every possible trophy available. And so, again, if you can't be available to do that, you can't be here.
Imagine if Lucas Vázquez was available peak in place of Fede. That would have been so nice. Just someone who's tenacious, runs up and down. I mean, that's why I think, man, Xabi, you should have thrown Franco on, bro. Why'd you bring on Arda in this game? I'm so mad, dude. Why? Why? What were you thinking? You know what's funny? I tweeted before the game that, like, I saw Arda's stats. I'll pull it up in a sec. But, like, this dude, he's been playing for a while, and his stats have all dropped off. And I just said, like, maybe he'll play a role as a sub. And, man, that was the worst case scenario. And he did play the good ball in that eventually landed at Carreras, I think. But it's like, come on, dude. Anyone, like, you're really bringing him on to do that and sacrificing control, Xabi? Like, that's my big criticism.
I mean, honestly, if Goulart is staying on this squad, he plays in the Copa del Rey against the non La Liga top tier opposition. He plays in matches where we're playing against bottom of the table teams, but he cannot play heavy minutes against. We're seeing it. Like, I don't know how else to say this. Like, we are seeing it. When there's an opponent who has a physical midfield, he gets bullied.
Yeah, no, he does. And just look at his production. You can see Like, I know he's playing less minutes, he's playing deeper, blah, blah, blah. But there was a point when we were leaning on him to produce and control, and then we realized we can't. And you can see the drop off in his end product. It's just fallen off. It's not looking good. And it is what it is, man. I'm really sad. It's really sad because honestly, I feel like him putting it there is now amplifying the criticism on him. And but yeah, on some level, Jarod, though, like you said, if you can't play this game, what are you doing at Real Madrid? It's tricky. It's tricky. These flat track bully players are not my type. I'd rather have like defense first guys you can bring on in big games who can also solve small games. But yeah, this whole concept of like the guy who can dominate if you give him a platform and possession, it's out of there. You have to platform yourself and dominate. Like David Silva. Like David Silva is a great example. I just mentioned him because he was scoring 10, 15, but he also helped control games. If Arda Güler isn't hitting that David Silva type tier, we just can't have him.
Yeah. And look, all that being said, right? We had our chances to score and we did not. And again, I want to be clear. They won it. So got to tip your hat to them. They are back-to-back Supercopa champs. This Barcelona team is not that good. Like they're not. Now, what's that saying about us? We're not that good either, right? Is clearly what you are seeing, right? Because they were there to be had, and we could not do it. Look, the question is, what happens going forward? Particularly, Sid, when we spent almost $200 million this past summer, getting Hoyson and Carreras and Trent and all our guys in. I find it probably highly unlikely that Florentino spends money again this summer. I mean, I hope he does, but I don't know.
That's the thing. This guy has been doing this thing where he keeps some pieces and like no, he's been doing this for a while where he kind of just fills some holes and then he doesn't fill other holes at all. And I do believe some of the pressure on Xabi is because he got Dean and Carreras because he wanted him, and they're
Right.
like, okay, we gave you who you wanted instead of just dude, you filled the roles of people we need in the squad.
Correct.
And it's the same as the first time under Zidane, they wanted Ferland Mendy and or he wanted Ferland Mendy, and basically what was happening is once Zidane was under pressure in 1920 because he got Hazard, Jovic, and Mendy, they were like, he got what he wanted, and if he doesn't figure it out, we're gonna sack him. That's why all that pressure started coming out. So it's ridiculous. Like 3 or 4, you get 3 players, and then you're trying to put all the pressure on the coach. I don't like that at all.
Oh, I agree. And again, this Florentino and the people that and the board and the folks that make decision about the roster, they are the ones that need to be really held to account right now, because they have year after year put together a squad that is depleted. We've done extensions when we shouldn't, like too early. Like what? Okay, Carlo wanted the Mendy extension. You don't have to give. You could. There was a report that came out today that said the medical staff was looking at it and saying, we're not so sure about this, man. This guy has serious concerns about being able to play more than 2 matches in a row, right? And now look, now he's saddled on our books till 2027, right? And every time you make one of these errors, it compounds it, because you can't just say, oh, let's go get somebody else in that place. No, he's on the roster. You have roster limitations with the size. So you have all these spots that are full of people who are not playing. And it's obvious, for whatever reason, either they're not good enough or he doesn't trust them or whatever. Xabi's not willing to pull anybody up from Castilla either. So this is why we get what we get.
Yeah. And I guess it's a little small, but looking at the XG real quick, 2.6 them to 1.4 us. It's interesting because we had 7 big chances to their 4. But like it felt like some of the largest opportunities in the game landed to us. And man, that Rafinha goal is just kind of crazy. 0.05 expected goals.
Yep.
0.32 on target.
It hit off Asensio's foot and just, listen, shit, the ball bounces funny, and like there's a saying in golf, I'd rather be lucky than good, right? Like sometimes you just, but you got to be good enough for luck to happen, right? And Barcelona was slightly better than us today. That's why they won 3-2.
Yeah, I didn't realize, by the way, that Fop Mob literally has like every goal. Like Gonzalo Garcia, 0.19 XG, 0.8 on target probability. Great. It has every goal and the type of finish they put. That's crazy. It's beautiful.
Mendy, Rudiger, and Alaba need to go. It's here. So this is a perfect example, right? You have 3 players right here, right, who are some version of either long-term injured or always injured, and or too old, and Xabi does not trust them to play extended minutes. So that's 3 spots now that are basically wasted spots. So your idea of, get somebody else. Wait, you have 3 spots that are producing literally nothing.
Yeah, and it's just we won with some of this going on, and he's just letting it linger. So I'm curious to see what he does. I don't think January signings are coming. I
No,
don't.
they're definitely not coming. It's very obvious that's not
Do you
happening.
think Javi's sacked? I just feel like this is what they kind of. If he wasn't gonna get sacked, it would only be from something like this, where you legitimately like showed up. And I don't think anyone who watched that game is depressed about anything but our lack of midfield quality, really, and like sometimes the defensive level. But still, like it's nothing's perfect. I mean, if you're a Barcelona fan, how do you watch this dominant season? But like you guys get skinned because you're just your defenders aren't great. Like Koundé's fried, Kubarsi. If I'm Barcelona, I'm pretty worried. I'm like, we're having a good season, and yet we struggle to impose ourselves at points. And
Well, this is
yeah,
why they're not going to win the Champions League, right? Like they can score goals and their front 3-4s are very good, right? Like even Pedri and but they can't defend, right? Like
yeah,
Joan saves them a lot, right? But I mean, look at Kubarsi was getting cooked. Koundé cooked.
yeah. And Lamine, I want to talk about him. He was good. I thought Rodrigo and Carrera was phenomenal at shutting Lamine down.
Yep.
Lamine's honestly like he's scoring this season more, but it's not like linear. I guess it is somewhat linear. It's not exponential. It's not some
Mm-hmm.
sudden leap. It's a linear steady growth. But like people keep bringing up Lamine versus Inter, but I just want to say Vinny did the dribble and scored before Lamine, you know. I hope Vinny gets his confidence back, man, because we have someone wild who can do all the same things. And yeah, I see with Barca a team with the same flaws as when they lost to Inter, a team that like I just think between Barca and Man City, the way those teams have played us this season, you guys are not all that. Neither of you Cruyffian, whatever you want to call them. The Cruyff Nation is not there. It's Arteta ball this year, baby.
I mean, us nor Barcelona would fare
who,
well against
who are you
Arsenal in a
rooting
matchup.
for? If we're not good, Jarod, you have to spiritually root for another team other than Real Madrid as the team that protects our legacy. So who's that for you? For me, that's Arsenal. They haven't won. They're not getting near us in total Champions Leagues. Man
Yeah,
City hate them, and like they're
yeah.
a counter to all those teams. I want
Yeah,
Arsenal.
it's Arsenal. Liverpool's not good enough. I'd say Liverpool because I don't like, Liverpool's whatever. I'm fine with them winning. Chelsea, but they're not good enough either. Like,
Hey, Chelsea winning with an interim coach would be on brand, but
True.
Chelsea winning and then sacking their coach in October is like very probable. Honestly, just going
Sounds
with
about
history.
right for them.
I will say this while touching on this. Vincent Company, Leonard Carl. I think they're just thought I'd touch on Company's comments on Carl because Carl comes makes a big mistake, talks about Real Madrid. Mistake to them. To us, Carl, that was
Right, great.
great stuff. Great work. Keep it going. No, keep it going. But basically, we're watching you now. You're a lone player at Bayern. But Company had a great quote. He's like, "Listen, I only care if he doesn't show up in training. Like it's natural. It's a big team." And I just thought he was so mature. And there were so many Bayern fans who are like, because the rest of Bayern, they have a little bit of a German way of seeing things. Like, oh, we have to punish him. We have to land hard on him. Like, got to be
Mhm.
old school, like mechanical way of seeing things. And Company just comes in. He's like, none of that, bro. Like, as long as he trains well, we're good.
We're good. Hmm.
And yeah, I think spiritually, I feel happy with Company. If PSG win, I'll throw up. I'll stop this podcast.
Yeah, if Company and Bayern win, I'll be happy for Company for sure.
And Michael Olise, who's better than Yamal. My agenda, that
Ooh,
agenda.
nice. You're pushing that. I like it. I like it. I do
Well,
like
he
Michael
is.
Lise a lot.
He
He's
is
very
better
good.
statistically. He's objectively better statistically. I get he plays in the Bundesliga, but his expected goals and assists, I'm pretty sure they're higher. Maybe I'll have to double check that. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that because I say all that because we're not winning the Champions League. I don't think this season.
I mean, what more proof do we need to? Like, what can we do? Like literally, it's just not there, man. It's just not there.
And that last thing, Mbappe is going to go trophyless for 2 years in his prime. It looks like. I think we're going trophyless this year. It's safe to say. I don't see how we turn it around in the league. Maybe the Copa del Rey, something special happens. But what do you any thoughts on that? I know it's just stupid results based thinking. Like a player doesn't define a club, but it's a Mbappe in his search for records just kind of hit a plateau.
Yeah, he has. Look, I think it's a couple fold, right? Like we have not done anything to position him in the best possible way to win trophies because the roster around him is not working. Again, not we could have probably won the league, right? Because Barca's not that good, but we're not good either, right? So those sort of lower hanging, we can't even win those, right? So we're definitely not going to win Champions League. And then Copa del Rey is a tournament that, as a club, we don't prioritize or care about, right? So if that's the ethos from up top, like, what are the chances the players decide to be like, all right, guys, we got to just bust our ass to get at least something, right? I don't know. Maybe. But it's probably likely that we do not. We go 2 years now without a trophy, a major trophy, and that will be. I mean, that's catastrophic in Real Madrid's world.
Well, it seems like Vinny and the club probably have come closer on their demands recently. Vinny's dropped his demands, I believe. Where do you go this summer? I think that's what the rest of the season is, if I had to be honest. Vinny, you are auditioning to stay on this team. Honestly.
Oh, Sid, everybody is the only people who were not evaluating to stay.
We talked about him. Bellingham,
Mbappe,
Camavinga, because he's too good to sell. Like, you don't want to sell him.
Correct.
At this point,
Thibaut, obviously.
Tchouaméni, because you're not going to get anywhere near 100 million for him.
Yes.
And because he defends well.
He does.
Outside the mistakes. Carreras 5. You said Dean, right?
I didn't say Dean, but
we're not getting value for him.
Right, Dean. Courtois, obviously.
Yeah, so it's like 7 dudes. At this point,
Trent, I guess, even though how many matches has Trent played this year? 3? 4?
Honestly, bro, if he doesn't fix up soon, he's gonna enter Eden Hazard. He needs to not enter Eden Hazard territory. That's where I'm worried with him. I'm worried about Trent ending up as Eden Hazard, because wasn't this dude hurt a lot before too? Like, he got hurt against PSG. That's why they couldn't beat PSG.
Mm-hmm.
I think what scares me is with these generational guys is, like, if you can't build around the generational fullback in a big game and he's not consistently available, you can't build around him. Like, Marcelo played most of the season. It's not like Marcelo would get hurt and play some games. He played small games. He played big games. He was part of the lineup. And I think that's essential to learning how to defend with a player like that in the team and attack together. So, I'm just praying that this ends for Trent, because honestly, if it doesn't, dog, him and Mbappe are on like a 150 million a year combined, including bonuses, bro.
150 mil and 0 trophies. That's bad return on investment, folks. Real bad.
And I get it. We got him on freeze and it's baked into the money, blah, blah, blah. But I just mean it's just disastrous optics at this point, because it's like 2 guys on free transfers and like no trophies, man. But it's gonna be an interesting audition to close the season. Let's just say. I think tomorrow, Jarod, to wash the taste off this, we're gonna drop our Barcelona Steve Kerr episode where we debunk the idea that the Warriors' offense was based around tiki-taka. So at least we'll have something fresh, wash the taste off the defeat,
I love it. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you haven't already done so, like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. We think we do good work here. We want to keep growing and building for you guys. This will be on Apple and Spotify as well later. If you want to listen to the audio, share that. 5-star reviews, subscribe to those channels as well. And until next time, everybody, peace.